Craftsman Days are here at Lowe's with big savings on the tools you need. Right now, get a free select tool when you buy the Craftsman V20 2-pack battery kit. Whether it's the backyard, the bathroom, or beyond, Craftsman has the tools to help you power through and get the project done right. Because DIYing is unpredictable, but your tools shouldn't be. Shop Craftsman at Lowe's today. Valid through 6/18 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
Hey y'all, and welcome to another episode of the Millennial Management Podcast. I'm your host, Brandy, the Millennial Manager, and today is Monday. It is a email episode for Patreon. Y'all get this episode early, and I want to say thank you so much for your continued support. Also, make sure that you go back and watch our live from this Saturday. It was so good. I did 3 to 4 emails and answered a few questions about those emails, but please make sure that you go over to Patreon and watch that because they all varied in topics, ranging from FMLA, also with someone that was diagnosed with the illness and what to do about taking time off and stuff like that. It was just a very it was multifaceted, the conversation. It was a really good one. So definitely make sure you go over into Patreon and listen in. For those of you who are listening on Wednesday, I want to say thank you so much for listening. Patreon, thank you so much for supporting the podcast financially. And let's get to our email episode. Today is going to be 100% focused on HR because I have a couple HR emails. Some of them are specifically about HR, like an issue with them, and then also about or coming from HR themselves, like they need some support. So our first email is titled No HR for HR. This one says, good afternoon. I've been watching your videos for a while now. It has helped me create some sort of work-life balance for myself, period. I love that for you, Betty. I would appreciate your take on this below. I recently took a new job. I work in the HR field and immediately noticed that I had been brought into a broken system. I found myself being put in charge of tasks that belong to other people on our team because they aren't good at doing it. Well, who the fuck been doing it this whole time? But let's continue reading. I found myself working very late into the night, weekends, holidays, just to make things work, which I have stopped doing and placed boundaries. Oh, yes. All right, here we go. My manager is often MIA, gives vague instructions, only knows how to add to my plate by often reassigning work for me to do, or often assigning work for me to do that should belong to others hired to specialize in those areas: recruitment, payroll, optimization, employee relations, and so on and so forth. Even though the position I was hired for is to be a support, I am often made the owner of the processes and tasks because others cannot do them because they do not know them or they don't do them well. For context, I am the only member of our team with extensive HR backgrounds. Okay, Lord have mercy. In the HR department, you are the person or the only person with an extensive background. So you're doing a piece of everybody's job. Let's continue reading. I'm reaching out to you because I'm considering speaking up, but I have experienced that not go too well for others. There is no one that I can report this behavior to in our organization. Is there anything you would recommend for someone in my situation? Yes. I'm going to tell you, okay? If you have a boss who is not present, she doesn't really know what's going on, maybe she is clueless, right, to what is actually happening. You said that she's assigning you things that are other people's job. Maybe she just does not necessarily know the function of what the HR department is supposed to be like. Now, that is a very dangerous thing, that you have a leader who does not know what everybody's job focus or job function is. That is a dangerous thing, because how the fuck are you leading a team and you have no idea what's supposed to be happening? But then it goes into, she's assigning things based off of their inability to do it and putting a lot on your plate. And maybe you should communicate that, hey, I have no issue like supporting them and stuff like that, but they really have to take over the reins of these positions, and I be here as the support. You can communicate that like that, because maybe she doesn't necessarily understand the ins and outs, or maybe she just does not know. Now, on the other side of that, I would say that if you are in a department or you are in a department that is so unorganized and they have people who are working there that don't know what the hell they are doing, and now they're sticking everything and making that your responsibility. If you were to come and say something to them, more than likely they're going to push back on it because they know that these people are inadequate. They know that already, that you said it in the email, that they have made it known that these people don't know how to do whatever these tasks are. So they need somebody who's going to come in and do their work. That's exactly why they hired you, as a support to them. So they may not necessarily be receptive when you come to them, and you have to be ready for that too. You have to be ready that they're going to have an attitude and be talking all this shit because they don't want to do the fucking work. They just want to collect a check. And then you got a leader who's unorganized, who's not present, and you don't know what's happening because she doesn't know what's happening. And it's just a whole lot of confusion. When if you're a leader, you're going to provide clarity to a situation. So if you decide to say anything to them, and it could go either of those ways if you decide to say something, okay? If you decide not to and you just decide to write it out, you need to be quiet about your disdain if you decide not to say anything and start finding another job, okay? Those are your options. So say something, and then those are the two outcomes, or be quiet and search for you another place of employment. And I cannot tell you which item to choose. And the reason why is because I don't know your financial situation. I don't know your responsibilities. I don't know what all you are capable of handling on your own or outside of this company if you were to take a pay cut or all this other stuff. Like, I don't know that. So you're going to have to make a decision based on those things. Are you willing to continue doing this for the next year or two? Because it could take a while for you to find another job. So is this something that you feel like you can sustain long term? The answer to that is probably hell no. So then that's when you have to start kind of putting your ducks in a row and say, you know what, I'm going to give myself this timeline to either turn this situation around for the better, or, for the organization to where we're all on the same page and working together as a team, or I'm going to turn this around for me. And you know exactly what that means. Okay, so pray about it. You'll make the right decision. But I'm just telling you, those are your two outcomes. Either they are going to be receptive and try to make those changes if these are reasonable people, or they're not. And they're not going to understand why you have a frustration with doing their fucking work. They're not going to understand that. And they're just going to want you to do whatever they hired you to do. Okay. All right. Let's go into our next email. This one says, I'm a big fan of your podcast. Thank you. I've learned so much from the way you break down the complex work dynamics and offer practical advice, especially for those of us who are navigating environments and leadership roles. I am reaching out because I recently experienced a situation at work that left me deeply uncomfortable. I am trying to figure out the best way to handle it professionally while protecting myself in my career. What the hell's going on? This seems very heavy. I work as a supervisor through a subcontractor on a major automotive site. My facility manager, who oversees my direct manager, made a racially inappropriate comment during a meeting, paraphrasing a voicemail from an attorney by saying, nigga this, nigga that. Despite the actual voicemail not including that word at all, he even said, this is the first time I'm saying it in front of you, and laughed afterward. An HR admin was present and said nothing. What? This isn't the first issue. I've previously been labeled as hostile after pushing back on racially charged comments like jigaboo. What? Also made by this same person, I am I'm only one of the two Black supervisors on the management team, and we work separate crews in a space where leadership is predominantly white. I can't help but feel that I am being retaliated against or scrutinized more heavily whenever I try to speak up or set boundaries. I've documented everything and I'm preparing to escalate through proper channels, but I would appreciate your thoughts and advice on this situation. Just a gut check from someone who understands the realities of corporate life from a culturally aware lens. Benny, you need to be preparing a lawsuit. Okay, y'all, freedom of speech does not equal freedom from consequences, and I hope y'all motherfuckers know that. I want you to use the Work Receipts app, WRK Receipts. This is where you need to log all the shit that has happened. You need to document date, the time, who was present, who did nothing, and they are going to escalate you or point you in the direction of an employment attorney. You need to sue the fuck out of this company immediately. If your HR department has not done anything to address the negative comments or racial comments that this employee is making, you need to sue the company. That's the next step. Seriously, as long as you got some proof, you got evidence that it's creating a hostile work environment, that it made you uncomfortable, that HR did nothing, you reported it, go ahead and talk to an employment attorney. This is simple sauce. Okay? Very simple. Y'all don't have to take being abused in the workplace. You don't have to take that. Sue the fuck out of them. Okay? Yes, it's going to cost you a little bit of money. As long as you got a case and you have documentation, evidence to prove that they have not done everything possible to create a positive, non-hostile work environment for every single employee. I don't give a fuck about what you think you can say. There are so many people, other minorities outside of Black people and white people, that want to say nigga so bad. Why? Why do you want to say it? Why do you want to say that? And they can say freedom of speech. Why do you want to say it though? What conversation is it appropriate for you to say that? Tell me. And I can't understand for the life of me why there are white women and Hispanic women and Asian women who swear that racism is dead, but sexism is alive. I'm confused. I'm confusion. You understand that you're being treated differently because you're a woman, but you can't understand that people will be treated differently because of their skin tone, their race, ethnicity. You don't understand that? Sue the fuck out of them. That is my recommendation. I am for it. You can navigate this world and say whatever the hell you want to say, but that does not mean it does not come without consequences. And some of those consequences include a whooped ass, because you may come across the wrong person. Okay? That is not in for whatever you trying to say or whatever you trying to do, and they're gonna knock your ass out. Okay? They don't care about that. Then you could come across somebody who will cuss you out, and then you come across somebody who will sue you. Okay? I'm the suing type. I'm not putting my hands on nobody. But lawsuit, absolutely. Sue the fuck out of them. You should. You should. I don't understand what y'all fascination is with that, and why there are so many people that love to say racially disgusting things they're like, it is not even, it doesn't make sense why you feel like you should say that. What makes you feel like it is appropriate for you to say? What reason do you have? You have none. Sue the fuck out of them. I swear to God. Just going back to this topic of conversation, if you are in HR and somebody comes to you and makes a report about someone saying something that is racially inappropriate, sexually inappropriate, you better fucking take it serious, because your job is on the line. Do you hear me? in so many different ways. You may think this person may not come against this company, but they will. And when the company does discovery, when they do discovery in the courtroom to see what the hell took place, they are going to see a HR representative being negligent. Do you understand? So while you out here trying to take a stand on your personal beliefs, your ass is going to be out of a fucking job. Because y'all bringing personal inside of the workplace is wrong. There is no reason for you to say that in a professional setting. You can't tell me a reason why anybody would. What do you need to say that for? Please communicate that. Nobody can do it for me yet. There's no reason why words like that should be coming up in a professional work environment. And there's even further no reason why white people should be wanting to say it. Why do you have a desire to say that? Anybody. Come on now. Outside of black people, you should not be using that word. Period. No. It's just not up for debate. And I don't know what makes y'all so comfortable or makes you feel like you just have the ability to say whatever you want to say to people. But I'm telling you, consequences, there are consequences waiting on your ass, and they vary in severity. So please, if you are a HR representative, director, business partner, whatever your position is, I don't care if you're the benefit coordinator, and somebody tells you that there were racially charged comments said to them, you need to take it serious. Do you hear me? Say yes. Thank you. This goes for sexual comments. There is no reason why my emails are full of reports where they reported sexually inappropriate behavior by men in the workplace, and they're not doing anything about it. Y'all not doing nothing. Like nothing. There's nothing that can be done about this. I just don't understand. I don't understand it. I really don't. I really hope that the HR as a whole can improve, but we got some dumbass people in HR that are not proactive. There are some people who are doing a great job. All of HR is not like that, but it's enough bad people inside of HR that make it, or that give it a bad name. It's just the truth. You cannot avoid that, guys. So I really hope that we are putting our best foot forward on the job and actually making sure that we hold people accountable that do things that are inappropriate and wrong inside of the workplace. Make sure you are holding your employees accountable. Okay. Thank y'all so much for listening today. That last email kind of threw me for a loop because what the fuck? But, it's the reality that a lot of us live inside of this country. And if you try to make it seem like it's not real, you are living in denial. Hence, Los Angeles happening right now. Okay? That would not be happening if we lived in a place where racism was not an issue, where it was not a factor in our daily lives. If that's the case, nothing like this will be happening. And also, I want to say a huge prayer for the people in Los Angeles. I hope y'all stay safe. Please make sure y'all take care of each other. And just, hold it down. Whatever y'all doing to protect yourself, you got to do what you got to do to protect yourself. Okay? I really hope that we can kind of get this shit together because it is just spewing into the workplace. This shit just does not stop when you turn off your TV or when you close the door to your home. Some of y'all are taking it into work. Your hate for other races, your hate for people, it is spewing into the workplace. And sadly, it is being allowed when really your ass should be fired. But I can sit here and talk about that shit all day. Y'all have a good ass day. Make sure that if you're not inside of Patreon, that you join Patreon so you can get the episodes early. And I'll see y'all asses online. Bye.